You're scrolling through Perth property listings and every single one feels like a gut punch. The dream of owning a home here feels like it's slipping further and further away. You've been told your whole life that paying rent is just throwing money down the drain. But what if I told you that was a lie? What if I told you that by continuing to rent right where you are, you could actually start building a property portfolio that doesn't just grow in value, but pays you cash month after month? In this video, I'm going to show you how rent investing is the secret strategy thousands are using to build wealth without having to give up their lifestyle. Hi, I'm Simon Atkins, your brand new apartment specialist helping you buy, invest and relocate in Perth. I know that feeling of being priced out all too well. For years I believed the only path to financial security was climbing the property ladder right where I lived. But the rungs on that ladder kept getting further apart. The deposit I needed kept ballooning and the homes I could afford were never homes I actually wanted to live in. I was frustrated and honestly it felt like I was failing. But then I discovered a different way, a strategy that literally flipped the traditional advice on its head. It's called rentvesting, and it's not just a workaround, it's a powerful strategy that's becoming more mainstream than ever in 2025. So what is it? Think of it like this. You lease a practical, stylish car for your daily commute and city life. That's your rental. But you also own a work truck that you lease out to a business and it earns you money every single day. You don't have to drive the work truck to profit from it. Rentvesting applies this to property. You rent where you want to live for the lifestyle and you buy an investment property where the numbers make sense to build your wealth. The biggest myth that we need to bust is that rent money is dead money. Think about it. We happily pay for things that give us value and flexibility. A phone plan, a gym membership, a car lease. Why do we see housing so differently? Rent isn't wasted money. It's what you pay for the lifestyle that you want, exactly where you want it. Rentvesting reframes rent as a strategic choice. The first major benefit is immediate lifestyle freedom. Today's generation values flexibility. You can live near your job in a great school district in that vibrant neighbourhood with the best cafes without needing a massive mortgage to do it. You aren't tied down. If a new job comes up in another city, you can move. If you'd like to go overseas and travel, why not? You have total mobility. Now the second why is a much lower barrier to entry. Let's be real, saving a 20% deposit for a home in a major city can feel impossible when prices are soaring. But a deposit for a lower price investment in a more affordable suburb is often way lower. This means that you can get into the property market years earlier. You stop losing time and start building equity. And who wants to keep trying to build a deposit when the market keeps running away from you? And that brings us to the third and most powerful why. You build wealth through two distinct channels. First, you get potential capital growth from your investment property increases in value. Second, and this is the key to our focus, you generate cash flow from the rental income. When you do it right, that income covers the property's mortgage, its expenses, can even put cash in your pocket every single month. This all sounds great, but how do the numbers work in the real world? Let's check out a scenario. Imagine you want to live in a cool but expensive part of a major city. Rent for a 2-bedroom apartment you love is, let's say, $3,000 a month. Buying the same apartment would cost you $900,000, demanding a huge deposit and a mortgage payment that would stretch you to your absolute limit. So instead of buying there, you could decide to rentvest. So you take the $100,000 you saved, which isn't enough for the city apartment, and use it as a 20% deposit on a $500,000 apartment in a different location. Your investment property mortgage is $400,000. For this investment, you might opt for an interest-only loan, which is a common strategy to maximise cash flow in the early years. So let's say at current rates, your monthly interest payment is about $2,000. Now for the fun part, the income. So Your property manager finds great tenants and they pay $640 a week in rent, which works out to be about $2,770 a month. So your basic math is $2,770 in rental income minus $2,000 in mortgage interest, and that leaves a surplus of $770. But we have to account for other expenses. Let's budget for property management fees, insurance, council rates, and strata fees. A safe estimate is around $650 per month for all of those combined. So where do we land? You've got $2,770 coming in. You've got $2,650 going out, which is the $2,000 for the mortgage and $650 for other costs. This leaves you with a positive cash flow of $120 every single month. Your investment isn't costing you a thing, it's paying you. But here's where it gets even better. Tax benefits. So because this is an investment property, many of your expenses like mortgage interest, management fees, maintenance costs, and even the depreciation of the building are often tax deductible. These deductions lower your overall taxable income, which could mean you pay thousands less in tax at the end of the year, further boosting your cash flow. Not a bad thing. For many investors, depreciation is the second largest deduction after interest. So you're living in the apartment you love for $3,000 a month, while your investment property is not only paying for itself, but also generating a small income and giving you some great tax benefits as well. All while its value in the background is growing. So that's the power of rent vesting in action. Running the numbers is the most critical step. If you're starting to wonder what this could look like for your own financial situation, I've created a simple free rent vesting assessment where you can send me some high-level details on a property to give you a feel for this, and I can send you a report to show you how that could work for you. The details required are in the description below the video here. Go check it out. It's available for just the first week of this video being online, and then it will expire. Now, I know some of you are thinking it sounds good, but what's the catch? Let's tackle the three biggest objections head on. So firstly, but I won't own the home I live in. This is the biggest mental hurdle because we're conditioned to believe that owning our primary residence is the ultimate goal. But what I want you to reframe is you're not a renter in the old-fashioned sense. You're a lifestyle renter and a savvy property owner. You're prioritizing financial efficiency and flexibility over the emotional idea of owning the four walls you sleep between. And remember, you can still buy your dream home later. Rent vesting is often the strategy that gets you there faster anyway, by building a deposit and equity through your investments. Secondly, I don't want the hassle of being a landlord. And you shouldn't have to. A key part of a successful rent vesting strategy is hiring a professional property manager. They handle everything, finding and vetting tenants, collecting rent, coordinating maintenance. Their fee is a tax-deductible business expense, and they turn your investment into a relatively passive income source. You're not a landlord, you're an investor. Thirdly, what about the capital gains tax when I sell? This is a valid question. When you sell an investment property for a profit, you typically have to pay capital gains tax, which you don't pay on your primary residence. But let's put this in perspective. Paying tax on your gains is a good problem to have. It means you made a significant profit. You don't pay tax on the entire sale price, only on the gain. And there are many legal strategies to minimize this tax. Thinking about capital gains isn't a red flag, it's planning for success. This strategy has been around for a while, but a few factors are making it the hottest approach for 2025. The first is the affordability gap between what people can afford and where they want to live has never been wider. With property prices in major metropolitan areas remaining stubbornly high, rent vesting has shifted from a niche workaround to a mainstream strategy for smart buyers. Second, while interest rates have been a concern, this environment actually drives more people into the rental market as buying becomes less affordable. And of course, we are in a falling interest rate environment at the moment anyway. This increased demand for rental properties can lead to a higher rental yields for investor, which makes the cash flow part of the rent investing equation even stronger. So finally, the rise of data-driven investing has made it easier than ever for you to find high growth, high yield markets outside of your own backyard, or even in your own backyard. But you no longer need to be a local expert to find great opportunities. The tools and information are right at your fingertips. So for decades, we've been sold a one-size-fits-all dream of home ownership that just isn't realistic for millions of people anymore. It's time to change the narrative around that. Renting is not a financial failure, and owning the home you live in is not the only way to build wealth and property. And I can guarantee you that I've done this myself. So rent investing empowers you to take control. It lets you live the life you want today without sacrificing your financial future. You get the best of both worlds: lifestyle flexibility by renting and wealth creation by investing. You stop waiting for the market to become affordable and start making the market work for you right now. If this video has sparked something in you and you're tired of feeling stuck on the sidelines of the property market, then it's time to take the next step. If you're serious about building a cash flowing property portfolio in 2025, I've opened up a few spots this week for one-on-one strategy calls. We can map out what a rent investing journey could look like for you. Just email me, my details are in the description below, and say I'd like a strategy call. That's it. Thanks for watching. If you got value from this, please hit the subscribe button and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Email me now and book your strategy call.